Hey, it's Craig the Spa Tech. I was at this house today because they had a problem with LED lights, and I wound up doing a repair in the motor massage. And they also had some sort of issue with the salt system. So what I'd done is I'd showed up and the spa was empty upon arrival, so I powered up the spa empty in safe mode by unplugging the circ pump. Jet pump commons, only powering up the 30 and not the 20. Worked on the LED lights, and then when it came to the salt system, I was, how do you troubleshoot the salt system when it's empty? So I've got my little test plug here where I tie in a salt cartridge with alligator clips. And this is neat. This is the purpose of this video, is showing you how these salt systems work. I took a scoop of water from that seat back there, so that's actually salt water from when they drained the spa, and that water has 0 chlorine, no purple on the test strip. So if we're to take this cartridge has titanium coated grids, and the system applies like 9 volts 800 milliamps to those grids, and it creates chlorine out of the salt system. So we're in an error right here because we have no circ flow, so I'm going to jump the pressure switch for the circ pump, and then we're going to go in here and let's see, as soon as I hear a click, when it senses that pressure switch jump, and go into the menu here. Service required, contact dealer, error 5. Testing, it says testing. Check this out. That's effervescing like champagne bubbles in there. I don't know if you can see it, but see that effervescing? That is 9 volts, 800 milliamps going between those grids. This system senses that 800 milliamp draw because of the salt water. If that was pure water, there would be no conductivity to the water, so there'd be no amp draw. We have probably 800 milliamps going here. Look at this. Salt system okay. I want to see something really weird now? Watch this. Take the cartridge out, grab a test strip, dip it in, and we have purple. We just generated chlorine from salt water by putting 9 volts 800 milliamps through these titanium coated grids in the water. That's how these salt systems work. And then of course the way you want to use them is output setting 1 through 10. These numbers 1 through 10, just like the numbers on the burner knob of your stove, where on your stove 1 through 10 means the higher the number, the greater heat output. This means 1 through 10, the more chlorine generating output. This is to generate low-level chlorine between uses. So at any given time, you should be able to put a test strip in here and read pale purple. Now this boost feature is off right now. Every time you use the spa, you hit this boost feature and put it in a 24-hour boost chlorine generating session to generate extra chlorine for that use. Think about it. Every time you use the spa, you put in impurities. You put in dead skin cells. You put in sweat bacteria, hair, lint. So every time you use the spa, you put in an impurity. By putting it in the 24-hour boost every time you use the spa, that is a saying in the industry that we call boost with use. It generates extra chlorine for that use. But in between uses, that output setting 1 through 10 should always have you reading somewhere here in the pale purples on the test strip, 0.5 to 3. You really don't need to be 5 parts per million on chlorine on a saltwater tub. Being that we're in a boost here, This is really effervescing now. I am going to kill power to this. I'm going to take a chlorine reading on this now. I'm going to pause this a moment. Okay, I ran and killed power because, well, I suppose I could have just shut the boost cycle off, but I got to button this up, take it out of safe mode anyway. So just as it was sitting there in that 24-hour boost in the few moments I was explaining the system to you, man, look how much chlorine we generated. That's like in this tiny little that's over 20 parts per million in this tiny little vessel, just in those few moments I was talking about the system while it was boosting. So I just wanted to show you how the salt chlorine generating system works. Not only works, but how you're supposed to use it. Output setting of 2, 3, 4, 5. Find something that works for your spa size and you. Boost with use, and then your weekly test strip lets you know if this output setting of 3, 4, 5 is over chlorinating, under chlorinating, or just right. You're always using your weekly test strip to kind of fine tune that output setting. And fine tuning that output setting is a lot easier if you always boost with use. This is Craig the Spa Tech. I hope this cleared up the salt system for you and you understand it better. We'll catch you later.